Hello and welcome to this short video where I want to show you how you can implement regulations of the European Union AI Act in Copilot Studio and get your documentation ready. So let's start. So last week we got a visit from one of the bureaucrats of the European Union, handing over a lot of stuff we have to fill and consider. And then we had a brilliant idea to use Copilot, helping us with the setup and the configuration so that we can automatically fill this. So what we did is we basically asked a couple of questions to Copilot, created a Copilot Studio agent that leverages AI and Power Automate, and then we got this documentation filled in no time and were able to hand it over to this bureaucrat. And if you are interested in seeing how we did that, then join me now for this short demo where I will illustrate you how we implemented things. So let us start here with this European Union regulation, yeah, which has really a lot of pages that I was going through, at least a couple of pages. But then I found, hey, this is really, it will take a lot of time to implement this if you have to read these 144 pages, understand everything. So what we did is we used here the M365 Copilot, basically put here on top the document and ask, hey, how can we implement this in Copilot Studio? And then we got a couple of answers, how to structure this, what kind of questions to ask the people. For example, here first, we start with the scope, then we have prohibited practices, then we determine risks and so on. And everywhere you can find questions. And with this setup, or with this information, we came here and created this Copilot Studio agent. And what is this agent doing? Well, first of all, it has a knowledge source just in case people want to ask something out of this assessment. So they have a question specific to the EU AI Act. So I uploaded the document just in case. And then I use different topics. And they are in line with the different sections that we saw. Yeah. Let's go through them. So here, there's the first question: which actor are we? Yeah. Are we a importer, distributor, whatever? Then we have the next question: what's the purpose? Yeah. And you will see that everywhere I hold this response in a global variable. Why? Because at the end I want to summarize things and then have it printed. Yeah. So I'm going here through the different sections. And then after a while I said, okay, that's sufficient. Let's document this. And I will show you in a second how this works. So we have here the documentation where I show first all of the question and answers provided. So just to give the user a chance to say, hey, I don't like it, I want to start from fresh again. Or if everything is okay, I set here this global variable to the answers provided. So all of these answers provided, we put in this global variable. And then I asked the question, hey, do you want to print this? And if you want to print it, of course, then we use a Power Automate flow. And I will also show you in a second how this works. And then we do the documentation. Okay, but now let's try this and start our assessment to see how we are guided through the different questions and what is the outcome. So first question is, what are we? We are a deployer, let's say. What's the purpose? Help finance and accounting people doing their work. Then let's continue, and you will see that we are guided through the different areas. Now we are still in the first section, and now the question is, what are the impacted persons? It's only for our employees, of course. Then we will use this internally only. And now you see on top the topic switched to prohibited practice screen. And now we say, hey, is this something likely prohibited? No, of course not, because we want to help. Is the system a safety component of a regulated product? No. it is all, yeah, just some basic configuration. Then is it a high risk area? No, no, it's not. Will biometric identification and so on be used? Yeah, probably yes. Maybe because if these people log on to something. Um, and now here we are in the documentation area. So I answered all the question. I get a summary, and now the question is, hey, do you want to have it printed? Huh? Of course we want. And now what will happen is this Power Automate flow will start running and creating us these documents. Yeah? The documents will be created in a couple of seconds in different formats, because sometimes you want to have PDFs, some prefer text files, and so on. And I created them here in this OneDrive. Yeah? So if you prefer, you can have a simple text file that summarizes the things, just some blah blah for lawyers and legal people. But if you prefer to have a documentation in a Word document that looks maybe a bit better, then I have this file here. Yeah? And if you prefer even to have a PDF document, then you can also have it in this kind of format. Okay, now the question is, of course, how did I set up this flow? And let us have a look at this, because it's not that difficult. So what I'm doing is basically I have here the information that I pass over, and then I run a prompt to create a first file. And the prompt is a basic prompt. Let us check this. So I say, hey, you are a legal advisor, blah blah blah. Yeah. Summarize these things and give us an output. And the output here is a text. It's a pure text. Yeah. So the first prompt gives us this text information, and I create a file as a text file using this base64 result from the prediction output. Now, for the Word document, and the PDF, I did something different. I have a second prompt, and this is the second prompt, version 2. Similar input, but this time I use here a document output where I have here a simple Word document with a single summary field. So how does it look like? Well, it is just this document, and I have this summary word that I have included. I just upload it, and then you see that I selected here the document preview. And this prompt is then used here in this flow to create the file. And the first file is this docs flow, this docs document, so a Word document. And again, I'm using this output. But then I said, hey, maybe people want to have a PDF. So I took the file, the Word document, converted it into a PDF, and then I said, hey, let's also create a version 3 PDF document, and then respond something, hey, it's finished. And here is the link to this OneDrive folder. And that is all. So very easy how you can basically configure this question answer game that these EU regulations ask from you and the documentation. Of course, if you go through all of the questions, it is really a lengthy process and you might have a couple of more questions. But I hope you got the idea how easy it is to basically configure this in a deterministic way, where you have step 1, step 2, step 3, and so on, in a question answer game where people answer questions and then get the document out of it. Okay, so that's it for this short demo. Let's go back to my PowerPoint for some closing remarks. So at the end here, a short summary of what we investigated. We started with this really lengthy and complex EU regulation about this European Union AI Act. We found that Copilot can actually help us to create a Copilot Studio agent that leverages, of course, AI tools and Power Automate to get this complete process completed in a couple of seconds. I hope you found this video interesting and would like to thank you very much for watching and listening, and look forward to seeing you in the next video then.